What is the best caliber for deer stalking in the UK? That's a question that will start many an argument. In my opinion, the best caliber you can buy in the UK for deer is anything that is deer legal, for which you can get the rifle you want and you have a ready supply of ammunition. Simple as you like. I love 243. I can get the ammo anywhere. I've got a 243 rifle and they're everywhere readily available. 6.5 Creedmoor's taken over in popularity, so yes, you can buy any rifle, you can buy anything, but if you want something a bit different, I don't think it gets any better than a 7mm08 personally, but I could talk about calibers and why I think they're the best all day long. It's horses for courses. They all kill deer. I wouldn't stand in front of any of them. The ranges we're shooting in the UK, you know, typically a 200-yard shot on a deer in the UK is a long shot on average unless you're up in the Highlands. Those guys will use 22 250 if they're shooting roe. They'll go 243 if they're shooting red. They'll go up, you go up to the older states, they just have a 243. It's old. They're just great shots. They just practice all the time. They're out doing it all the time. They're used to shooting like that. They're fit as you like. None of it really makes any difference in my opinion. Caliber doesn't really make any difference as long as it's legal. They'll all kill deer. Practice is the number one problem for me with stalkers. They don't practice. They don't practice because there's probably not enough ranges in the UK and ammunition is getting more and more expensive. I don't know that they practice that much more when ammunition was cheaper, to be fair. And it's true. And as for ranges, would there be more ranges if people took the time to go and practice? Probably not. I have that argument with some people all the time when they shoot something badly and they'll say, well, I don't want to spend my time and money going to range. I wanted to spend my time and money coming out stalking with you. And I'll go, yeah, but now you're arguing about that penalty fee. That penalty fee is about me spending the next 5 to 8 hours looking for a deer that you may or may not have shot, that is probably hit badly, that risks my reputation and my tenure on this estate. That is what that is about. I would much rather go and practice, and most stalkers will have a zeroing range or a target which you can go and shoot. So going back to the question, buy anything for which you can get the ammo, you can afford to go and practice for, you can find the rifle you want, and it's deer legal. That's it. Caliber is constantly debated, but no one ever seems to debate projectile or bullet construction, which is far more important. I always shot 243 using a bullet called a spear deep curl, which was a bonded bullet. Either the copper jacket was bonded to the lead. That meant that in terms of performance, it held together. It didn't just disintegrate on impact. 80 grain going really fast, but when it hit and held together. It'd always be an exit, or usually be an exit, even on bigger fallow. It performed really well. So when we talk about bullet construction or projectile choice, that's what we're looking at. It's no good saying, oh, I've got a 30-06, what do you use through it? Or I found some 110 grain super soft lead, whatever. And you're going, why would you use those? Because that's kind of going to be a really short, dumpy bullet. And you know, it's one of those things where actually, if you take the time to understand what you're shooting through rather than the caliber itself. Calibers are great, but choose the right bullet and practice with it, know where it's going. If it's a well-constructed bullet, you're not using a match bullet to hunt and vice versa. Not that really matters on the other way, but if you're using a properly constructed bullet that expands in a controlled manner and delivers terminal velocity, that's what you want. Caliber's not as important as that.